You're saying craft like you gonna hand make something, or
Well, let me
what do
just
you mean?
t-shirt, Tony. T-shirts, because
Okay, well,
you have your
the craft.
sublimation, you have your DTF.
Oh,
I know, I get it, y'all. I get it. You know.
yeah,
I
I have
get it. Okay.
no idea.
I know.
Yeah, that's not my
Let-
language.
let me just-
All right, you. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on?
I'm back. What's going on, bro?
Shoot, not much. You're listening to the Carver or watching the Carver App Chronicles podcast with Tone and Trey. So we're
Yes.
back again. What's up? What's good? How was your week?
It's been going good.
Been going
Yours?
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's full week as media director, so it's been very interesting. First full week, actually
Wow.
everything on my shoulders and really seeing what the role
Okay.
looks like. So it's been good. It's been okay. A couple of things here and there, but as time goes on, I'll adjust and be able to handle some things better.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, but just learning people. It's the
Okay.
biggest thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
learning people. That's the biggest part. Like I was telling one of the guys, one of the volunteers, um, he was just like, "So what do you think, man? How do you feel?" I'm like, "The hardest part is y'all.
Right.
I just gotta learn y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta learn them. Who does what their strengths are,
Mm-hmm.
and work with that. But yeah, you had asked me a little bit, before we started about the transition.
Yeah.
So, um, here's the thing: it's always I'm not gonna say difficult, but it's always something when you go from one state to another in particular, because first and foremost, you have to get used to certain things that you may not be used to.
Right.
Obviously, because you're used to a certain thing somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um, I can't say I've experienced much of that here because I've been still kind of back and forth with
Okay.
the movie situation, still filming
Yeah.
the movie, and obviously family is still back home and all that as well. So I can't say that I've experienced a lot like with the transition because I haven't really had time to invest in the transition.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing so far has just been finding a spot. You get somewhere and you get in a little temporary place like an extended stay, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I gotta get up out of here. you know. Um, so the biggest thing is just finding somewhere to go and
Mm-hmm.
um doing it in a timely fashion because obviously I'm also with this new job, right? So
Right.
I'm kind of limited. Um, but for the most part, I think I've learned really quickly about Indianapolis and the parts of town that you don't want to be in,
Mm-hmm.
um, all of that. So I'm in a pretty good spot. But
That's
yeah, that's
good.
the biggest. Yeah, that's just the biggest. It's just literally trying to figure out like where to go, where to go, and all of that. And yeah, transition wise, I mean, we're from the big city anyways. We're from
Right.
Tidewater.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of traffic. I've lived in
Mm-hmm.
DC. I've lived in Cali, so nothing different there with dealing with traffic or anything. The roads are bad, but yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's not much I can really talk about right now on
Oh,
transition. It's
nothing.
just, yeah,
Nothing.
not really. I mean, I haven't done much yet. So, being in a situation where I go from, um, 'cause, Roanoke, that area is over 100,000 in population to
Yeah.
um, this surrounding area of Indy, you're talking 1.9 million.
Mm.
So there's a whole lot more people,
Oh yeah.
and a whole lot
Wow.
more diversity as well, is what
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is about the diversity piece. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I see in certain parts, like, you got your north, south, east, and west. And I noticed, you have Africans more like on the northeast side. You have more Mexicans or Hispanic Latinos down like and kind of in the center. You know what I mean? But they're all over. I find more blacks up here as well in the northeast part, um, and down in the southern part of India as well. So I mean, it just is very diverse, very diverse.
Okay.
Um, yeah, very big. It reminds me, I tell people, a cross between Baltimore and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I can see that.
yeah, more on the standpoint of, 2 blocks, you might be in a nice, pristine neighborhood, and then you go 1 block over, and all of a sudden it's a war zone. So
Yeah.
it's that extreme. And then
Wow.
as far as Atlanta, just for me, I mean Atlanta's the same way. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I say Atlanta because Atlanta has so much going on,
Right, right,
so
right,
much,
right.
to do, so many things to get into. So
Mhm.
same thing up here. It's just like it's considered Midwest, but like they have all elements. They have stuff from the South, East, West Coast, North. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, yeah, yep. So I think we haven't really touched the topic of business yet. That's one of the things we're going to do on this podcast is discuss business, and especially now in this economy, and this in this world, because it's so easy now to get into something. If you do it right, utilizing social media, you can be pretty
Right.
pop. You can make some money.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so um, obviously, a lot of people know that I'm, videographer by trade and done video production for a long time.
Forever in my book.
Um, yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. It
Mhm.
helped. That journey helped me get to this new journey. But
Mhm.
it's changed. I mean, when I first got started, video wasn't a big thing. I mean, it was being done, right?
Yeah.
People, artists getting music videos done. People are
Mhm.
always getting married. Companies needing commercials and sports. Getting sports. They want their team covered, or somebody wants their player covered for scouting or recruiting.
Right.
But nowadays, it's as easy as pulling your phone out,
Right.
and you can edit it right from your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, I still do some of it, um, but I think for the most part, I think where location is important
It really is.
on a lot of levels. This is what any business.
Mhm.
Location is very important um, because I was in Roanoke. I really didn't get many big opportunities there. I had to go outside of Roanoke to bigger cities in order to get bigger
Right.
opportunities,
Right.
which is fine. I mean, that's just kind of how it
Right.
works. Um, and but a lot of my core, you know, reach out once, twice a year, maybe more, are in the community.
Mhm.
So, because a lot of these bigger jobs, it might be one offs. A big gig here,
Right.
and then once you finish it, it's kind of done, kind of thing. So you're on the road a lot. But I think one of the things I learned is that you have to be a presence in your community.
You really do.
So people see you out in the community, you do good work in the community, then your name will get
Right.
spread throughout
Right.
the
Right.
community.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
and obviously nowadays, I think just social media is just important. You have to
Yeah.
be pushing. You
Mhm.
have to be pushing, and
Mhm.
if not actively pushing, at least you're sponsoring post or boosting post,
Yeah.
to get your brand out there.
Right.
So, um, and I know you've been doing a lot yourself. So, I mean, talk about your experience and what your thoughts are as far as business, goes right now.
Well, for me right now, it's the market research. I mean, I had to pretty much research what I'm doing now and seeing what's already out there. Because I mean, I don't look at it as being a competition. I look at it as, well, what am I perfect in? What can I perfect? What can I help add to what's already out there? And that's what I've noticed even in my business, that I'm getting ready to push. It's very lucrative, of course. However, it's also so many people are doing it. So I have to find my uniqueness as far as what I can do that's not really being offered. So after I begin to do my market research, gee, now I'm like, I have to have my vision. So, I began to write out my vision and make sure I made it plain as the scripture says. And I just began to put it together, you know. And now I'm finding key players because I have a lot that I'm doing. So now I'm looking for my key players that can help me push my vision out because my hands is full right now. And now I want to do something else on the side. It's a lot for me, you know.
But talk about, I mean, you're talking about market research, but what are we researching? What kind of business, what kind of
Like
industry?
with like with me, I like a t-shirt line. My
Oh, gotcha.
husband wants to, he wants his own line, t-shirt business, right? But there's so many people out there who are already doing it. So what's going to make him unique?
Right.
So now I need to know, as far as I'm looking at my area. I
Right.
know a lot of people are pushing it, and when I look at my market area, you know, how many people are pushing it? What brand are they pushing? Are they focusing on cups? Are they focusing on t-shirts? Are they focusing on hats and different stuff like that? So what can I do to help him to be unique? Which he has his own brand anyway.
Mhm.
So that's what makes it easy for him. But I just want to know what my competition is, if that makes sense. So what is my competition out here in this market? Everybody's pushing t-shirts,
Right. Yeah. But
like right now. But what?
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you're fine. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying, everybody's pushing t-shirt in my market. So therefore I need to know what can I do as I first stated, what can I do to stand out? And is it a need for it right now?
Mhm.
Because we know this stuff is up and down. So what am I gonna do when time is slow? But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I was gonna say was, this is what I've noticed. So the market is up and down right now. And I say market just based on big corporations and business, right?
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of businesses are bankrupting, or
right,
you're having to fold, restaurants are closing down, different things are
right.
happening. But what I'm noticing is that most brands, if you have one thing, let's say for example, I like using this. This is the easiest thing to use. I'll just say a food truck,
Yeah.
and you specialize in barbecue, and
Mm-hmm.
you're really popular.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up popping up in different parts of the city. You might go outside of the city to some other place or whatever the case is. What I'm noticing is, this is with any kind of business. Most people now are doing their core, and then they expand into that apparel piece where they're selling
Right,
t-shirts that have
right,
their
right,
brand,
right, right, right.
um, and stuff like that. And then I'm hearing that, now you have to have a podcast, and you have to have this and
Right,
this and
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're making it like so many different layers and levels.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you have the food truck, and then you have the social media, and then maybe you have a
Mhm.
website, and then you might have a YouTube channel showcasing videos.
Right.
I mean, and then now you have, Joe
Yeah, yeah.
Schmo barbecue,
Uh,
with a nice little t-shirt of a graphic that was
yeah.
created. You can walk around saying, "Hey, I support this brand," kind of thing.
Right, right.
Um, I feel like the biggest part is just, like you said, standing out, and you have a core
Mhm.
following. I think that for the most part, because your core following is more um, church, right?
Mhm.
You know what I
Church
mean? Like
family
more
friends.
church,
Yep.
exactly, right.
Right.
And so like in my eyes, what that looks like is, obviously you have your core right there in
Mhm.
Danville, Greensboro, and maybe other places y'all might visit.
Right.
But then now you can actually expound that to any religious organization,
Mhm.
um, or in that whole world, because you might find some religious groups on Facebook, and you post
Right.
something about, hey, support the ministry by X, Y, and Z, and it's a cool T-shirt
Mhm.
that, like, no matter where you are, if you're in Missouri, that
Mhm.
shirt resonates with you because you like how it looks, and it's
Right.
representing Christ, or it has a nice saying on it, or whatever the case may be, and they're like, I gotta have that shirt.
Yeah.
I think it's just playing to that demographic, if we want to use that term, um, and marketing towards that, and just figuring out what do people like when it comes to like
Right, right,
religious
right.
sayings on shirts, or like what they like to see, what's eye catching, or whatever you guys have going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so when you say market research, I mean, what are you seeing?
Oh my goodness. Basically, what like I said, what I'm seeing is a lot of people, in my niche. I'm just talking about my niche, y'all. Pretty much everybody's just pushing t-shirts. They're
Mhm,
pushing t-shirts, they're pushing mugs, they're pushing cups. Um, and now I don't know if you have seen it or not. And now, since like I said, the market with that type of market, it's really slow. Well, it depends. It depends. You really have to push it. I'm not gonna say it's slow. Let me take that back. For us, it is. It's not slow, but you have to really push it.
mhm,
But in order, my thing with the market research thing is it a demand for it? Yes, it is, but no, it's not to some people. It's like a seasonal thing, if that makes sense. Birthdays, holidays, and sports and events and different stuff like that. So my thing is, how many people are out here doing it? And if I would pick three, who would be the three people that I would follow? What three businesses would I follow to where I could learn and I can glean from them? You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? So to help push and promote my business and to help perfect me and to help make me better.
mhm,
So I need to know what's out there. So therefore I see what my competition is, but what can I do to stand out from my competition? So therefore I can still stay afloat. Because businesses is like you start one today and it's gone tomorrow. Or in five, well, in 1 to 5 years. You
mhm.
know, what do I need to do to get started? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I've also noticed too, people just start businesses and we don't have no LLCs and all this art, what I'm saying, the EIN numbers and the banks and all this good
Yeah,
stuff that we
it's
start a business.
a glo
Yeah.
it's a glo it's a
All
glo
the
it's a
legal
glorified side
side of
hustle.
it. Huh?
It's a glorified side hustle.
Right. So then I also what I was doing was checking to see if I even like it, which I love crafts anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a win-win for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Um, I
my main
think
focus.
so that
But
yeah, I think to answer your question, because
yeah.
especially in the market that you're in, people can't afford a bunch. They can't, if you are selling T-shirts and mugs and different things, and
Mhm.
you're in that area now, I could be wrong. They probably can't afford to buy a lot of that stuff.
That's why you have to learn your market. You
Right.
have to know your avatar.
But that's the reason
You know
why
what
I
I'm
meant
saying?
what I
Yeah,
said about expanding out and really pushing
yeah.
it, and maybe in some other areas, in groups and different things to get the brand out, because like locally, it can, they might be able to buy a shirt the first of the month,
Right.
and
That's yeah, yeah. And then
that's it.
after that, that's it.
That the first of the month.
So yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, and that's why I said you have to, do your research. Who all need t-shirts? You have schools, you have basketball teams. I'm just talking about kids events, basketball teams, baseball teams, soccer teams. I mean, there's so many ways you can make money, in the craft business. It's all about knowing your audience. Know who needs what. And
And
you have to go out there and get.
you're saying craft like you gonna hand make something, or
Well, let me
what do
just
you mean?
t-shirts, Tony. T-shirts, because you
Okay,
have
well,
you have your
you said craft.
sublimation, you have your DTF.
Oh,
I know, I get it, y'all. I get it. He.
yeah, I
I
have
get it,
no
okay.
idea.
I know.
Yeah, that's not my
Well,
line.
let's just
I
stick
mean,
with making
so
shirts.
yeah. Well, I mean, because that's what I want to touch on too. Like when you mentioned
Yeah.
the mugs and the different types of things that they
Mhm.
get created. Most times they're going through a third party and they're getting it, they're uploading their logo
Yeah,
or their
that's one way you can
branding,
do it.
and
Yeah,
they right,
yeah,
and they pretty much somebody places an order, and then whoever the distributor is, or whoever
yeah,
creates it for them, they create it and just send it. You know what I mean? So it might not even be a
yeah,
situation where you have a at home setup. What you're talking about right now is a at home setup.
yeah,
Um,
yes.
right.
Where
They
I
may be
make the
doing
stuff
it a
myself.
whole exactly. They may be,
Yeah.
they be doing it a different way. Branded calendar. So
Huh? Hold on, you was, breaking
oh,
up
hey,
a bit.
did it go out? Hold on. Hold on. All right now, T-Mobile. Um, but no, I was just talking about how they might, just they click on something and it's created and somebody's just shipping it from somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you have those too, which is nothing wrong with that. But then you have those, that are like me, who love to sit home and do that stuff myself.
Okay.
I have the printer, the Cricut machine, the heat press, everything
Mm,
that I need. My shirts, of course, I outsource, quite a few things that I don't have. I outsource pretty much everything, like the shirts and my ink, my paper, of course. But
mhm.
I prefer to make it myself. And then we do have some, we do have one place where, the things that I can't make, we do send it out,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest part, why people don't get the LLC, or even just as simple as going to the IRS website and getting the EIN,
Mhm.
a lot of people feel like it's too much of a hassle. It's too much of a hassle. Um, I don't want to. I don't want to file taxes on what I do. Not understanding
Okay,
that,
let's not get caught.
but
Let's not
yeah,
get caught on
well, of
sale. No,
course,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, 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 of course, but like
Yeah,
not understanding that if you do have at least an EIN
yeah.
and do self proprietor, you can like claim, your expenses and certain things. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
you have a house, you
Yeah.
can actually claim your house using it as an office, and now
Mhm.
it's a tax break you can get.
Mhm.
But it's just people just not wanting to take that extra step just to because of fear of, oh my God, I got to do this other thing over here. But you might actually benefit from doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now I can see if you're just testing it out. You don't want to spend the extra money because, of course, it costs money to get your LLCs and get all that legal stuff together. So I get that part. So I mean, it's okay if you want to just test it out to see if this even for you before you even spend all that money. You know.
yeah,
But if you are serious about it, you still have to remember, to get your name legalized. You know, because we can't
yeah,
be out here just stealing folks' names and stuff and just running with it.
true. That's
I'm just
very
saying, I know we,
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
One thing I was very intentional, was just making sure I researched names before I
Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah, to make sure it's not already taken.
very
It's very
yeah,
important.
yeah. I mean, I took my time with that before I even started anything. I
Yeah.
made sure I had my name, and once I had my name, I went and got my branding created, and then
Mhm.
from there, got the EIN, and now I have an
Mhm.
LLC. But yeah, it's just taking that time to do it because,
Yeah.
like you said, the one thing you don't want is to sit here and think, Molly made cupcakes is a go, and then realize, oh my god, I took Molly made. I didn't realize it was a cleaning company,
Now you're in some courthouse.
right? And so,
Being sued or something.
yeah, it's just taking your
Yeah.
time and going through those steps just to
Mhm.
make sure you're good. So,
Yeah. I mean, really,
uh,
like I said, starting a business is a lot. It's a lot of behind the scene work at first.
it
You
is.
know.
It
And
really
then
is.
even when you have it, it's a lot. And you're also alone in the beginning, unless you start off with a team. So I'm just speaking on my own behalf. You
Hmm.
know, I'm gonna say I was alone. I had my brother. I do run through him and my daughter with stuff. But overall, you're pretty much alone when you're making the stuff, you're packing the stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to focus mostly on that. I want to mostly focus on the business aspect period.
Mhm.
You have to make sure that this thing is actually for you, and it's the time now for it. Don't quit your 9 to 5 because you done made $1,000, in 1 week. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, do that for 20 consecutive weeks, and then now we
Yeah,
can have a
yeah,
discussion
yeah.
on, I think it's time. But, even then, I mean, that's it's so for me, for sure, it's ebbs and flows, right? All of a sudden, the first 3 months of the year might be slow, and then it picks up in the spring and summer, and then it tails off again towards the end of the year, right? So
Mhm.
it's just like, a lot of businesses go through that. Like they have
Oh, yeah.
their hot periods and their slow periods, and you have to be able to you have to factor that in. You have to
Oh, yeah,
factor
yeah,
that
you
in.
have to, yeah.
So if you do have 20 good weeks, is all that
Mhm.
money going is that money going back into
The business.
buying materials and buying the
Mhm.
things you need to keep things
Yep,
going, or are you
yep.
actually maybe put some of that in the bank and save it up because
Mhm.
that period where it's gonna slow down will happen,
It
and you
will
got to be ready
happen.
for it.
Right.
So
Yeah, you always wanna, keep your book straight, so therefore you can check to see, because you're gonna have overhead expenses,
well,
you
a lot of yeah,
yeah.
it's a constant. It's constant. Depending on what you get into, especially what you're talking about. Now
Mhm.
obviously, again, if they're doing it the other route where somebody places an order on a
Oh,
website and
yeah,
then
yeah,
that route,
yeah,
no. But if you're doing it
no,
yourself and
yeah,
you have to literally buy the printing and different
yeah,
things, all that's required, yeah, that's gonna be
yeah.
pretty costly.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
if you get somebody that says, "Hey, I wanna order 10 of them," or can you do, like, 50 family reunion shirts? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now it's costing you more than what you thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
you do have some other people where you can outsource to that if you don't wanna, spend any upfront money.
yeah, a lot of people do that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna call it the drop shipping
Yeah,
technique.
that's what it is.
That's just what
Mhm.
they use. So, um, and yeah, it's easy to do. You just kind of, a lot of sites now that just they'll take a percentage off of the top and
Right.
per order, whatever the case is, and
Mhm.
there you go. So, uh, going back to the financial piece of quitting a 9 to 5, most people have a 9 to 5 that helps fund the business,
Yep,
and
and that's the way you
they'll
should do
keep
it.
that 9 to 5
Mhm.
because they can handle both.
Right,
They rather have that steady income,
right,
and this business over here that's doing good as well. They rather do that to know that they're secure.
right,
Uh, but if you want to strike out, they always say you should have at least 6 months of
right.
expenses.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
pay you can pay your rent, your house note, you can pay car note, insurance, lights, whatever your expenses are. You need six
right.
months to be able to do it.
Yeah.
What should give you time to really focus on your business.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So you can
um,
develop your skills and, you know,
mhm. That's a
you'll
hard
do it. Oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
The one thing you don't want to do is sit back and first and foremost, like I always talk about having a plan. I
Yeah.
always talk about that because I think you should just have a plan. Like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and we'll see what's good.
Mhm.
I got 6 months worth of expenses saved up. I wanna do this thing over here and I think it's gonna do well. You leave your job and then you don't promote your business.
Oh, that's an epic fail. Working when you're off, every off day you have, when you're still working, make time for your business. But go ahead.
Yeah, but no, but when you take permanent time off,
I know. That's why I said before you get to that point,
yeah,
you
before you get to
already
that point
have that
for sure.
consistency
But yeah, consistent, but
and
like just making sure
determination.
that you're gonna have to go hard. Like if even if it's
Yeah, you're
content
gonna have to go
creating,
hard.
if it's content
Yes,
creating, you're gonna have to be
yes,
willing to put in. It's a lot of time and effort and work that
it
goes into
really
it.
is.
You have to be able to do it. So like, okay, you know what? I want to quit my job and to create content. Okay,
Mhm.
be ready to spend about 12 to 16 hours a day
Oh,
creating
oh,
content.
yeah, yeah.
Like, don't think that, "Oh, I can just do 8 hours and I'm good." Nah, you're gonna have to, like, literally create, and sometimes you can create just to have stuff in the can to push out
Yeah,
daily. It's
yeah,
already done,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But you gotta put that time in to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And
so
that's just been I've been working on that because 'cause we're on a challenge right now. I'm sorry to cut across you, to create content for 30 days, and I've been struggling.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
look, and you talk about quitting the job? No, I would not quit right now.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with 30 days of content.
Yeah, I mean, you got so many
You
people
know,
that's
but
doing it,
yeah.
and like
Mhm,
they get brand deals with companies or whatever to promote on IG or TikTok, whatever the
yeah,
case may
yeah.
be. And it's like, but yeah, at that point, you got to be producing. Like,
Yeah, you really do.
somebody paid you whatever, you got to be trying on those clothes and modeling those clothes
Mhm,
or
mhm,
whatever it is, using that product and
mhm.
showing the product in use and just and you gotta keep it going from there. But even with that, here we go. Some of them brand deals, you're not getting paid as soon as you get done
Right,
creating.
right.
You have to wait
True.
net 30, net 60. So
Yeah.
here we go. You have to have that money saved up to where you
Mhm.
can survive until that next check comes in.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's not as easy as people think. Like, yeah, you can get a
No, it's
brand
really
deal,
not. It's not.
but you're gonna have to be ready to
Yeah.
do the work and make sure you
Mhm.
have the finances to wait. Basically get to a point where you have checks rolling in
Right,
um, to keep you afloat because it's not going to be some oh well I got this $10,000 deal over here and I'm good. Yeah, you gonna have to wait for
right.
that.
It goes back, when you think about it, it goes back to you're having your vision. You have your outcome, but now we have to make the plan in between. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Once I have my vision, I know where I want to end up at. Okay, but what's the in between so I can get to that point? And you have
Yeah,
to create a why. I look at that too. Create a why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to start a business? You know?
yeah, that's
Why?
true. Yeah, why do you want to do it? Yeah, that's the thing too. I think a lot of people they're really good at something.
Mm-hmm.
And so they feel like, "Oh, this would be a good business to get into," but, like, they don't really understand the why of it. Like, "Okay, so you know what?"
Right.
Like, really get down to the core of
Right.
why do I wanna do
Right.
this? Yeah, I'm good at
Right.
doing this, but
Right.
why do I wanna do it? It's because
Right.
I love seeing the smiles on people's faces when I
Mhm.
produce a certain thing or when I do a certain service, or is it because I just truly love what I do?
Mhm.
Like, for me, like, I've always just done video for the longest time, and, like, I see a lot of people come and go. A lot of people pivot, do other things, or they got, like, 10 other things going on. I
Yeah.
just always just stay with the video because I just love doing it. I love creating. I love, producing, unique things for clients and then seeing their faces on the back end, like, they're really excited about
Right.
whatever, and I just love that whole thing.
Right.
So for me, it was just because I just love doing it. Like it's not a
Mhm.
situation where it's like, oh, I'm good at it. I'm just keep nah. It down to the core, just love
Mhm.
doing it, which is why I kept doing it and still to a certain extent today, still
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so that for me is just but yeah, like find that why. For me, my why was just I loved it.
Right.
So but yeah, a lot of people, um, the why is I just want money.
Yeah. Okay. We all want money.
You
We
know.
all want money. I ain't gonna, hey, I mean, because like when I look at my why, it still wasn't big enough to keep me consistent in my vision, you know? So I had to dig deeper, within myself to really figure out, okay, why do I want to be financially free? You know? It's okay to want to, not worry about money and, what I'm saying, be able to go anywhere I want to go. And, what I'm saying, my husband can come home from work. I mean, come home from working and he have to work anymore. And even with those in mind, my why still wasn't big enough for me to move out my seat to do what I need to do. So I had to deal with it myself. Like, so my why is because Tremaine, I want to see lives change.
Hmm.
And it first starts with me, you know?
Okay.
If I want to be not financially free, my goal is to be live a holistic life. I want to be free in mind, body, spirit, and soul. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to help others. Okay, but I can't help others if I don't help myself, you know? So, and with that in my mind, it's like now I'm moving more because I'm reaching towards that goal, which is going to help me fulfill my purpose, you
Hmm.
know? and then give me back what I want and desire in return.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the hardest part. And
yeah,
literally, outside of that is because you have to truly bet on yourself. You have
yeah,
to you
oh
have to
yeah,
be very confident and you have to bet on yourself and know, okay, I got this. I'm gonna
yeah,
make it happen. And you have to go make it happen.
you
Especially
do.
if you're in a situation where you just jump off of a cliff and your only parachute is making these sales.
Right, right.
You don't make these sales, that parachute ain't opening and you're gonna splat. So
Mhm.
um so yeah, yeah, and finding the why is very important. The why.
Mhm,
Um Going into the how, a lot of times
mhm.
people they grasp the core of what they have to do, but
Yeah,
not embracing the full scope of what they have to do.
right.
Meaning you have to advertise. You have to be
Yeah,
again, now you're creating content for your
yes,
business. You're not a
yes,
content creator just because you want to be a content creator. You're creating
right,
content for your business.
right.
And like because of how the algorithms are on Facebook and things like that,
Yes, it's
it's
crazy now.
hard. It's
It
hard. Yeah,
really
it's real
is.
crazy.
It
So
really
like
is.
you have to like create a lot of content to keep pushing like 2, 3, 4 times a day to
And then you
hope.
have to I don't even cut across you, but before I forget, you also have to create a system to take them offline. So therefore you can build your own audience.
Yeah,
Build
yeah, yeah.
your own email
Yeah,
list. But
yeah.
go ahead.
Yep.
Because the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
algorithm is so crazy.
That's the biggest thing now. The email blast. Because like you literally everything. They want your email. They want your email, and like even though
Yeah,
you don't even sign up for it, all
right.
of a sudden you've done something or you went to an event or whatever the case is, and all
Mhm.
of a sudden you get emails. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't care for this team. I just came out just to enjoy a nice, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
but obviously you get emails because you intended this thing and they have your
yeah.
email and they're going to utilize it. Like, hey, we got a special going on tickets. I don't want no more tickets. I already went to the game I went to. Like, or I've already bought the item I wanted to buy. I don't want to buy anything right
Mhm.
there. But the email thing is very,
Right.
very, very crucial. Very
It
the
is.
email. Yeah.
It is, so 'cause once you learn your target audience, and then you begin to nurture them, build them, educate them, this, that, and it's all about getting to know, like, and trust you. And once you get to that point, my thing is you take it offline as well while you're building.
Yeah.
What I'm
Well,
saying? Because how crazy the algorithm is, you know, if
yeah,
you want to
yeah,
keep feeding them,
yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is that you should have a website
yeah, that too.
at the
Yeah,
very
of course,
minimum.
yeah, website, landing page,
At
yeah,
the very minimum, a landing
yeah.
page,
Oh, yeah.
because that will be the first step to getting them offline
Right.
and showing them more about your brand,
Right, right, right.
getting them to a newsletter sign up
Right,
or
right.
email, whatever. Um, because yeah, otherwise they're going to just look for stuff. They're going to go to your page
Yeah.
and look for updates there, and here that hustle piece comes in there. It's like, oh, I'm doing a special this week. So look at that on your page
Mhm.
for that. They're going to a website or somewhere else, or they're not getting an email or a text
Mhm,
alert about it.
mhm.
Um, so, but it's just going through all those steps and realizing that hey, I need to do everything and not just bare minimum to show people I do something.
Right.
So, like you said earlier, a lot of people are doing t-shirts. They're doing food, they're
Mhm.
doing videography or whatever the
Right.
case is, content creating. Like everybody's
Mhm.
doing something
Everybody's saying that. Yeah.
because they can see how easy it is you to
Right,
do
right, right, right,
or you know. So everybody's doing it. And so because of that,
right.
how are you standing? How are you making sure you're at the front? Are you willing to pay? 'Cause a lot of times you gotta
Mhm.
pay to play. Sometimes you
You
gotta
do.
pay at the front of the line. You gotta
You
pay
do.
to be at the top of Google search engine. You gotta pay.
Mhm.
You gotta
Mhm.
pay. And, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think that, well, if I post this right here and hopefully it goes viral. Nah, it
Right.
might not happen. It just
What's your audience
you can
want?
post 10 so it just might not happen. Just because you feel that your cupcakes are the best thing going, don't mean
Right.
that Facebook agrees.
Yeah. And do your audience think they're cute?
Right? Yeah. That's just the
I mean,
bottom
that's
line.
what it is now. Yeah, and then you don't
If
want
your
you know,
audience even sees it, because
that
again, I
too.
mean,
Yeah,
the algorithms have changed, so like you just have to
yeah,
really be posting a lot and
that's true.
literally just boosting the post to make sure
You
it's
do.
going up and
You
down
have to.
timeline, certain zip codes in certain areas, or just whatever the case is.
Mhm,
I mean, so like it's to the point now where if you're watching like Hulu,
mhm,
um, maybe even Netflix now that they have ads, Disney Plus, YouTube for
mhm,
sure, you're starting to see
mhm.
more local ads on these global platforms,
Right.
meaning companies are paying Hulu or whoever, hey, we'll pay you 20,000 to show our car commercial ad on your platform. That's where we're at
Yeah.
because they realize people are watching their TV shows, they're watching
Yep.
their movies, they're watching what they like to watch. So now they're getting local ads that's being
Yeah.
fed to them.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So I mean, like, not saying everybody has to do that because obviously there's a time and place for all of it, but that's where we're at. Like I know for me, like what I
Yeah.
want to do with this podcast and certain things that I want to get to a point where maybe I am paying a YouTube or
Mhm,
something for us to like kind of maybe it shows an ad
mhm.
talking about us what we're doing, or maybe we got a featured episode that we're doing or something that actually just plays because we paid for it to play.
Right.
So I mean, you got to just think outside the box.
You
Yeah.
do.
and
You do. Be
just
yourself.
go for it, and invest and just
Yeah, you
invest.
have to. Mhm.
Nothing comes easy. So yeah, yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, um, when you're battling, a lot of people doing the same thing. When you're battling a tough economy right now, everything is so expensive.
Right.
People are just trying to survive. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough.
Mhm.
So you got to really make sure that whatever you're selling, people are. I gotta have it.
It's a
You know
dire
what I
need
mean?
for it. Yeah, there is a need
Yeah.
for it,
It's a
you know?
need, or it's I gotta, or I gotta have it. I mean, give them a reason to buy that
Oh, yeah.
branded, mug or whatever the case is. Like, because okay, like okay, I'll go further. What I
Yeah.
mean is that okay, you buy this mug for 15.99, 30% of this sale goes towards whatever
Right.
local nonprofit,
Oh,
right?
either why is this mug so special?
But yeah,
Why do you
but
buy this?
why is it special? But I'm saying what a lot of people are doing too is you buy this over here and
Yeah,
we're gonna donate to
yeah,
the Boys and Girls Club, or we're gonna donate to a certain medical
yeah,
whatever.
that's
You
true.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I've seen a lot of that too.
So right. Because
Yeah,
now people don't like, you know what? I don't really need another t-shirt. I got like two closets full.
yeah.
But because they're gonna be donating some money to X, Y,
Somebody
and
else, I'll
Z.
get it. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I know someone who did that with their book deal.
Okay.
Mhm. Jenny, yep, she's well known. Every book sold, she donated to a foundation.
hmm
Every
Yeah.
book, every
Yeah.
money, every piece of change that came in.
Yeah, and and I'm not, obviously I haven't done anything like that, but I think for me, that would be a good avenue to go if I was selling a physical
Yeah,
product.
that makes sense.
And then also try to show some kind of transparency somehow,
Mhm.
so that way they know it's going towards
Yeah,
that thing. Because the thing is you don't want to do something like that, and people like they're questioning, is the money actually going towards this?
yeah.
Stuff. So I think follow up is key there as well.
It really is.
But yeah, it's just getting creative. It's getting creative and um giving people a reason why they should buy your product. Like, like you
Mhm.
said to me, everybody's selling t-shirts. Why should I buy your shirt?
Right.
I'm telling you, it's tough. It's a tough game.
It
It's
is,
a tough
but I
game.
wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give up. I would, if this is your passion, and it's something that you love to do,
hmm
go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, of course. And
Yeah, go for it.
I think for me, I don't grinded myself out.
Yeah.
I have. I'm over 18 years. I've grinded myself
Mhm.
out. Where now I'll still do it, but I'm more interested in creating TV shows and movies
Yeah.
and doing self distribution.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think because of the way the world is now, everything's going to streaming.
That's true.
That's gonna be more of a lucrative avenue
Right.
for me.
Right.
moving forward. So
Yeah. And that's
yeah,
why I'm getting into the digital space as well because I'm for one, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love
yeah,
creating stuff.
mhm. Yeah.
And that's just what
It's
we're
not
doing.
bad. I mean, like this weekend, we're taking a week off from filming the movie, so I'll be able to catch up on some content I need to like
Mhm.
produce. That's a little behind time now, but it's still content, so it'll go out. But
Mhm.
do stuff for this podcast, maybe create some clips. But yeah, it's when you see it and you see people respond to it, I can see why people get addicted and hooked on it.
Oh yeah.
Um, 'cause it's, like people like comment on our stuff. They comment and they say good job, keep up good work. This is my best episode.
Mhm.
I love what you guys talking about. It's a good feeling. So
Mhm.
I mean, I'll say
Yeah.
that motivates you alone to just keep pushing along with a check at some point. But
Yeah.
but for now, what I mean, we'll take it.
Yeah,
So,
we
but I mean,
will.
we'll get there. We'll
Oh
get there.
yeah.
I think the
Oh yeah.
biggest thing is just consistency.
Oh right, 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 right.
We miss a week or two here or there, but for the most part, we've tried to at least have a new episode up each week, which
Mhm.
helps. So, I mean, people know that we are serious about the podcast and not just,
Mhm.
oh, we'll do a couple and then you fall off kind of thing. Like they see that we're producing content. So, you know,
Yeah.
but I do want this thing to evolve over time. Like, I want us to
Mhm.
both invest in, and I'll probably be the one. Since I'm the camera guy, anyways, I'll probably buy us cameras that we'll use and lighting and certain things to like really make things pop a little bit more
Right,
and
right, right.
just kind of maybe dress it up a little more since we are going to be more virtual than we are face to face.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want it to look very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's always that's another thing too about business. It's always evolving. Uh,
Right.
you can't stay stuck on one thing
Right.
because that one thing worked. Because now
Right.
that it worked, somebody else is going to do it a little bit better,
Right.
and or the industry may change because of whatever you're in.
Yep.
And if you don't evolve with it, then
Right.
yeah, you get left behind. So
You sure will.
mm,
Yeah, so it's very important to learn how to pivot.
yeah, yeah, that's key.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
It
It's a
is a
lot.
lot, you
So
know. So,
so
so you gotta learn how to use your time wisely.
yeah, yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's the hardest thing.
It is.
The time
Has to be
because
hard.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're talking,
Yeah.
even though your kids are grown, you got one that's getting married soon. You got, a
Mhm.
couple grandkids that you actually look over along with,
Mhm.
making sure you're there for your husband. You have a lot. Then on top of that, then
You
you
have
have
the
the
church.
ministry, right?
Yeah. And
So,
that's still work.
so right, and yeah, and you got work, and you're trying to build a business, and
Yeah.
it's so many different things that you have to
And
manage.
yeah.
Time,
Yeah,
I think
everybody rely on you. Mhm.
time management is important.
It's very important.
Time management is important. You have to make time for what's important, but also
Mhm.
make sure you're making time for your business
Yep.
to make
Mhm.
sure that you've done something
Mhm. Every day.
to keep it going or to get started or whatever the case is. Wherever you are, you have to just make sure you're putting time in all areas.
Mhm.
Um, one last thing is, and it took me a long time to get here, unfortunately,
Right.
but self care is very important.
It's very important.
Making sure that you might not be able to get a full 8 hours of sleep, but make
Yeah.
sure you get more than four.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I gotta tell everyone I can't focus with no sleep. But
Yeah.
even when I'm working on my business, I'm gonna take a nap. Like after this, I'm taking a nap. Then I'm gonna get back up. And then
Wow.
I'm gonna get back up because I'm tired. I've been working all day. But then I'm gonna get back up and start working on my business, working on stuff for this podcast, and then I'm gonna start working on a few things. So I mean, I gotta squeeze it in when I can, buddy.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Know?
Totally get
And
it.
what I learned,
Totally
one thing I also learned how to do was to I took back my life because at first I just gave my time to everybody else. So if I said time management is very important, you know,
very.
and I have me a board and I write out what I need to do for the week. I ask everybody
Yeah.
what y'all need from me, and if I'm able to do it, I add it to my schedule. But I always make sure I make time for myself.
Hmm.
and I'm gonna get my sleep because I can't focus without it because I have a lot to do. So it's
Yeah.
just a 10-minute nap.
Unfortunately, I'm used to little or no sleep, so
I'm not
but,
like you.
I know, but, the transition, as we talked about earlier, has
Yeah.
afforded me time to
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good.
so it's
Yeah.
my body's adjusting in a way which is good. I mean, it's like, "Wait a minute, this is what it feels like to be sleepy at 9 o'clock and actually be able to go to sleep if I want to."
Right. Yes.
So so, yeah. So, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yep, yep. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as far as business guys, if, you got something that you really love, to make sure you put that time and effort and energy into it and, do your due diligence and do it the right way. I mean, and make sure you just put yourself out there. There's no point of doing something and you don't make time to put it out there. If nobody knows what's
Right,
going on, they can't support it. They can't help it grow. So,
right,
yeah. And don't be afraid. I mean, just do it. Like I think expectations get a little cloudy. That people think that,
mhm.
well, if I don't do X, Y, and Z in this time frame, then this is not a good thing. No,
No.
any we go back to the small wins.
Right. A win is a
Appreciate
win.
if your goal was 10 sales and you only get 2,
Yes.
be grateful you got the 2 because
Yes.
it could
Yeah.
be a week with no sales.
Mhm.
So it's just knowing that, okay, you know what? How can I turn these 2 to 10 and
Right,
go from
right.
there as well? So, I mean, just figuring
Yeah,
out ways of doing it, and it might be as simple as running more social media, just doing
right,
more
right,
posts or creating whatever you got to create to generate traffic or interest.
right.
So yeah, but yeah, just don't get discouraged. Do it the right way. Appreciate the small
Mm,
things that come with the journey because it is a journey. They say within the first 10 years, they
right.
say most businesses fold within 5.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is that you gotta know it's going to take at least 3
Mhm.
if you're going hard to really start to see the hard work pay off. But
Right.
you gotta survive past 5 so you can see
You have
10.
to. Right.
And then hopefully now it's all you're doing at the 10-year mark, you should be just all you're doing is what you love. So yeah.
I just wanna
Yeah.
add one more piece to, are you finished?
Mhm.
I'm sorry
Mhm.
to cut across you.
You're
I
good.
just wanna I wanna add one more piece to it, and one thing I'm learning is to collaborate. As I first stated, I have my brother. Thank God for my brother and my sister. I mean, my sister, I'm sorry. Our brother and my daughter, and my daughter told me should I pay her too. So I said I didn't really realize when God kept telling me that I had everything that I needed in my hands to get started because I'm looking elsewhere and
Mhm.
didn't really realize that I have it within my family. So the whole moral of the story is learn how to collaborate. You don't have to do this by yourself. If there's someone in your community that can do something better than you or can take up the time that you have to help free you up some, learn how to collaborate.
Mhm.
Even if you're able to pay them, even if you're not, as long as y'all have that discussion, hey, we can get a lot of things done that way.
Yeah,
And
support is the biggest piece.
right.
Support is, very crucial, and a lot of
Right.
times it's funny you bring this up. We had this discussion man, was this a discussion that we had? Yeah, we did this past week, um, dealing with the ministry and, like, the
Yeah.
message that was, told was basically, so they do this thing called Movie with a Message,
Mhm.
and so I think, it was Creed 3 that there was a movie that we did, and, the pastor has, like, messages within the movie, and so,
Yeah.
like, it talks about how, somebody being there in your corner and you
Mhm.
and you opening up and allowing them to be there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So I mean, same thing can kind of go here.
Yeah.
Is like finding that support
Right. Right. Right.
and embracing it, and then just like
Mhm.
figuring out the best way to utilize that support. Because a lot of times, I think again, if people are strong in certain areas,
Yeah.
then you need to figure out how they can help you.
Right, and which
And
was hard for me to do.
yeah, of course. I mean, 'cause
It was hard for me to let
a
go
lot of
of
people
my
wanna be
baby, my
independent
vision.
and they wanna be self-made and they wanna
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
they've done it themselves. But
yeah.
listen,
That is not my story. I didn't trust people with my vision, you
oh,
know? But I
yeah.
had to let go and, and believe that they're gonna carry it out, So, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, 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 same here. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I wish I had help. I wish I had support. I wish I had
Yeah.
people that were, that were kinda interested in what I did,
Mhm.
that was able to, eh, pour
Yeah,
in like I was able to pour
yeah.
in. But a lot of people, they're content at being at a certain level.
That's true.
And but I can't even get mad about that because of their whole thing is that, "Hey, I wanna be home with my family."
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I
That's
ca
just it.
I can't knock that,
Right,
but, as
right,
a business owner, you can't get anywhere without sacrificing some time.
right.
So it's just one of them things. So,
Mm.
but yeah, all right, well, good topic. Good topic, good topic. Hope, you guys learn a little bit. Obviously, if you are running a business or you're looking about running a business, maybe got some good little nuggets in there for you. That'll do
Yes.
it for this week. Anything you want to discuss? I'm wearing my Virginia Beach, Virginia shirt. So,
Mm. Yeah, I
yeah,
miss being at home. I miss the waters.
yeah,
No, I just wanna just like as he was saying, let us, we're in this, it's time for us to evolve, you know. Let us learn what we need to learn and let us grow and just start walking into our purpose. If
mm,
that's starting the business, whenever God says it's time, go ahead and do that. If it's, you want a new love in your career, hey, let's go ahead and step out and do what we need to do to get to what we need to get in life. We don't have to stay
yeah,
stuck. We stay stuck because we choose to.
absolutely. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, it's because of high expectations, and you might not see them
Right, right,
through.
right.
Just,
Mhm.
I mean, appreciate the little things that
Yeah.
come along the way as far as the journey, and
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
looking for will come.
Right,
My
and
biggest
enjoy it.
thing is just do it. So always, this is what I tell
Right.
people. I tell people just take one step,
Mhm.
right? Just take that one step. Just go ahead and step off the porch.
That's it.
And once you take that one step, something's bound to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Nothing's
yeah.
gonna be perfect. Nothing's gonna it might not take off overnight, but because you took that step, at least now
Mhm.
you're walking towards something.
Right, right, and build
But
build there. Yeah.
you gotta build off of it and you
Yeah.
gotta learn from it and you gotta just like,
Mhm.
make adjustments along the way. You gotta pivot, you gotta
Mhm.
adjust, you gotta
That's it.
adapt. You gotta do everything. We
Right,
can't, but if you have an expectation of one particular thing and it don't go your way and all of a sudden you just
right.
quit, you never even get yourself a chance to see what happened.
That's it.
So,
Alrighty.
all right. Well, there
It
you
feels
have it.
good, y'all. No.
Oh yeah, it does.
I'm telling you guys, 'cause I'm that one he talking about. I ain't gonna take no step. But once I did, I mean, it feels so good, y'all. But go ahead, buddy. You can close us out.
It's tough because
Yeah,
we're used to a certain thing.
yeah.
We're shown like they say the American dream, whatever the American
Mhm,
dream, and they base it off of hard work, working for somebody else. And
mhm.
so we get used to that. And then we get used to being tied to an employer that's paying us a certain amount each 2 weeks or whatever the case is. And
Right,
then we
right,
have these
right.
benefits and then we have this vacation time
Right.
and then we have all these different things that
Yeah,
kind of tie
yeah.
us to
Mhm.
that particular thing. And not understanding that, if you do it right, you can have enough money to where you can have your own benefits. You can take
Right,
time whenever you want
right.
and be kind of on your own terms. So
Mhm.
like, subscribe, and comment, especially on YouTube. We do appreciate you
Yes.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
But yeah, definitely on the podcast. I think Spotify and all the platforms as well. Make sure you're liking us and subscribing
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
the channel or the feed. That
And
way you always
share.
getting alerts. And definitely share it.
Mhm.
But this is Tone.
This is Trey.
You listen to the Carver Ave Chronicles podcast. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.